Okay, so have you ever been to the mall or the store and you see little kids and they're like they're asking for something from their parents and they don't get their way. So they start yelling, they're going loud, they're being crying like they're hysterically, and you're just there and you're looking at them like, oh my god. So then you're like, okay, let's look at the parents, like maybe the parents are gonna do something. So you look over at the parents, and the parents are still like, that's not my child, let me just look over still here. And they just keep ignoring their kid, and you're just like, what's wrong with you, lady, get your kid. But I think that, I guess that's why the children do it, they want their attention, I guess, but just because they're not getting away. But anyway, when I was younger, my siblings and I, we were put in our place. If we were doing something wrong, we were made sure to understand what we were doing wrong. So, don't get me wrong, me and my older brothers and my sister were no angels, we're human, but when it comes down to it, we're very respectful. And I like to think that was because we were disciplined. So my main topic today is why I think kids should be disciplined. Okay, bear with me, I'm not talking about child abuse here. I'm just talking about like a good old-fashioned little spanking, or as people know now, it's timeout. So nowadays, a lot of parents do not do anything about their kids because of how the government's set up. Lately, we've been seeing a lot of media stuff going on that you barely touch a child and that's it. You get sent to jail. And because of that, kids nowadays are pretty much getting away with anything they want to do because they know I'm going to get it off easy. I'm a kid, everybody's going to have sympathy for me, and if my mom hits me, they're going to think of it as child abuse. So, what does that teach them in life? Nothing. They will not have the important concept that everything we do in life has a consequence. So let's get down to the main parts of making you all believe that kids should be disciplined. The first main question is, what is discipline? Well, according to Catherine Lee, a child expert and author of the article, Surprising Reasons Why We Need to Discipline Children, she states, discipline is not about lashing out in anger. Child discipline, when done correctly, is about trying to control your child, but about showing them how to control their own behavior. You're not necessarily punishing them for doing something wrong, but about setting clear consequences for breaking rules so they can learn to discipline themselves. According to parentingandchildhealth.com, children learn best when parenting is warm but firm. It builds on your child's strong desire to please the parents. Discipline is really about guidance. Children learn to make good choices because they want to do the right thing, not just to avoid punishment. The second big question is, why is it important to discipline your children? Well, according to an article called About Parenting, children who are not disciplined will be deficient in important life skills. Life skills as simple as lack of self-control, no respect for others or authorities that are higher than them, will not know what is appropriate behavior, will be selfish and generally unpleasant company to be around, will not have any really good social skills, and apparently out of all of that, they're deep down inside they're unhappy. Discipline can also be used in a good way, such as praise. Let's say a kid has to do a project and he or she is frustrated that it's not coming out the way they want it. A simple, you're doing great, just keep up the work and you can get through it. That all right there is great motivation. To them, if they were doing a project and they said, I don't want to do this no more, it's frustrating, and they walk out and you just let them walk out, then that's what they're going to do in life. Whenever problems happen, I can just walk out. My parents didn't teach me anything. Well, example, you go home, you do your project when you're little and you're frustrated, you're building that volcano and it's not coming out, and your parents tell you, I know it's hard, just keep going at it, you can do it, you can do it. Basically, you're giving them motivation, like in life that's what they're going to use. When they have problems, you know what, if I can do this, I can get through it, I have to discipline myself to keep going. So, that last big question is, how should I discipline my child? I know most of us here don't have children yet, but when we do, you want an idea of how you should be disciplining them. Honestly, there are so many ways besides spanking. There's also talking the whole situation out with your child, and there's putting them in timeout, which personally I don't really see the point in timeout. They're staring at a wall, but I guess that's what it is. But according to healthychildren.org, there are natural consequences. Times when you let your child see what will happen if she or he does behave. As in, let's say your child is being rebellious on the playground. You have already warned them once or twice, don't do that, you're gonna fall, don't do that. So what do? Let them fall. Basically, they're gonna teach themselves their own lesson. Let's say they're on the monkey bars and you told them, oh, you can't do that yet, don't do that, and they still do it. When they fall, they get a scratch, they get a little bump, they're gonna learn on their own, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that because this is what happened. So, they taught themselves the lesson. Another way is logic consequences. Those are the times that we have those are the times when the whole mean what you say come in. If you tell them to pick up their toys, or you'll make them, if you tell them to pick up their toys and you'll make sure that they don't play with them the rest of the day, if they don't pick up their toys, then stick to what you say. So if your child doesn't put away the toys, then you have the authority to pick up the toys and stick to what you say. Don't let them play with the toys the rest of the day. That's their lesson. Now they know I should have done it the first time they asked me, and my toys are put away. So the overall point is to not overdo the discipline. I understand a lot of parents take discipline way too far. It's simple, basically, it's a little reminder of what you should and what you shouldn't be doing, from right, from wrong, not I'm gonna beat you until you get the point. So discipline not only shapes your child to be a better person, a more respectful person as adulthood, it also helps you learn better from your own mistakes. It makes you understand how you could have handled the situation differently also. And you get to be a better role model for your for your kids. We all see it nowadays that kids are very disrespectful. It's rare to see a kid be polite, a boy become a gentleman, or a girl become a proper lady. Those are all problems that could have been avoided from the start if we all would have just started off with teaching them from right from wrong, respecting others, and I mean from the simple thing that nowadays if an older person is standing up and you're sitting down, the right thing to do is get up and have them sit down. And a lot of days you hardly see anybody do that. They're like, I'm tired, I'm gonna sit down, forget you. But another reason why, an example was, the other day I had to go shopping for some flats for my work, because I'm a very Converse kind of person, or tennis shoes. But I had to get flats for my work, and it was packed, it's Christmas time, everybody's crowding the mall. So I went over and I was saying, excuse me, pardon me, and I went over to the lady and said, excuse me, I'm sorry, I know that you're busy, this and this and that. Basically, I used all my manners that my mom taught me. So I walked back over, and I guess there was a lady that was watching me, and I didn't know. And she walked over to my mom, and she said, is this your daughter? And my mom looked at me like, oh girl, if you did something, I'm about to smack you. And I was all like, and then she's like, yeah, that's my daughter. And she's like, I just wanted to say, she is so respectful. She's like, I have not seen a girl or any young kid her age talk to another older person like that in a very long time. She has so many, you can tell her respect and morals, and I just want to say that thank you for raising your daughter right, basically. You know how good that made me feel? I was like, yeah, and I was like, yo mom, you know, you taught me good. And she was like, you know what, cabrona, get in the car. But basically my overall point is that discipline your child is not a bad thing. You're gonna teach them respect and things they need to know in life. Thank you.
Raphael, what did you think?
I liked her speech. I thought it was fun. Well, I didn't think it was fun. I knew it was fun. I liked how she connected with the audience. I liked how she had, she had some eye contact. She had a lot of eye contact. There were moments where she would, like, put her head out to look at her notes cards. But other than that, like, how she connected with the audience, like, you could ignore all that. I liked your topic. I liked your preview. And I felt that your entire speech was organized. So, you're welcome.
Yeah, I like the visualization as the attention device at the beginning. I like the general direction that you're going. You've got a pretty clear statement of what your purpose is. I think you need a little bit more structure in the body of the speech, but you have good examples every place that you're talking about things. I think you could use a little bit more information. There's a presupposition that kids are not behaving correctly anymore, that they are automatically rude. I think every generation feels that about the one that's coming up behind them. They just say, man, these kids today, they're just so rotten, awful, terrible, bad, you know. So I'm not exactly sure that that's a new insight. And if you had reason to believe that there was really something that was lacking, that parents were not doing the kinds of things that they have done in the past, I think that you ought to develop that a little bit more. But that aside, I thought you did a nice job explaining the need for discipline, talking about what the limits should be there, how it can be effective, all those kinds of things I thought worked very nicely in the presentation. And then you also deliver it effectively. Part of the thing that goes along with the examples is that you talk about the examples, you visualize them, and then you've got that nice emotional one at the end where you got the compliment from a stranger in the store, and your mom, was able to feel good about having done right by you, and you felt good about yourself. And that's the kind of thing where people start to identify with what you're talking about. I'd much rather have that be the experience than some negative experience, and so they can kind of see that as that's working. So I thought you did a good job on that. All right, thank you.